Yeah, you're using the trip mine wrong. The trip mine is one of the most underrated equipment in Halo 3 because players just don't know how to use it. Most players use the trip mine the traditional way, as something you toss and hope that someone will eventually walk or drive over it. But it's a big shiny disc that anyone could see, even in strategic spots that are not visible to the other players. The beeping noise from the trip mine gives away its position to players that are paying attention. Players turning corners on vehicles are your best bet to get defensive kills. Other than that, the trip mine isn't an exceptional weapon to assist you on defense. As a tool for offense, though, the trip mine has much more potential. While not as strong as a rocket launcher, the trip mine is a powerful explosive weapon when used correctly. During a fight, a trip mine is something that the enemy would not expect, and due to its larger blast radius compared to grenades, it gives you the opportunity for an easy kill. Tossing it at the ground of an enemy, one of two things could happen. The enemy activates the mine and it blows up, or you can shoot the trip mine yourself to blow it up. One of the learning curves is figuring out the toss distance of the trip mine. It can't be thrown as far as grenades, so you have to make sure you are close enough in order to get the trip mine to the other player. This does make it pretty risky if the other player already sees you. If the enemy hasn't taken damage, they would survive the explosion. So if the other player is already shooting at you and you decide to toss the trip mine, you have to be quick to get the headshot and extra quick if you have to shoot the trip mine first before the other player kills you. You're very vulnerable too when you throw the trip mine, thus using it to catch the other player off guard before you are shot at is your best bet since you will have just a little bit more time to get the kill. However, trip mines are best used against vehicles. It can devastate vehicles, leading to a lot of multi-kills. Sure, you can set up your trip mine at a hidden spot where a vehicle may drive over, but that can lead to a teammate accidentally driving over it, or just a random person seeing it and shooting it. Throwing it at an incoming vehicle is your best bet since the driver may not have time to change direction and dodge the trip mine. In the maps Longshore and Rat's Nest, I was getting so many multi-kills because the maps can get congested and it makes it harder for other players to dodge my throws in their vehicles. However, there were many situations where a grenade was the better option instead of the trip mine, especially if it were one-on-one encounters. In this clip here, I thought I was being super sneaky, trying to catch someone off guard, but instead I threw the trip mine behind the player, and if I wasn't saved by my teammates, I would have died. In this other clip, I could have just thrown the grenade instead of the trip mine to take out their shields. There are situations where you could hide the trip mine around corners in enclosed areas, but like I said earlier, the beeping noise will likely give it away. There are only a few times when you could get lucky and get the kill by hiding the trip mine around corners. Thus, I would say to save your trip mines for vehicles, but if you have no grenades, then the trip mine is an option. Practicing how to use it in firefights by adjusting to the toss distance, the delay after use, and the quick shot at the trip mine to detonate it can be a formidable skill to use once mastered. And luckily, it isn't so difficult to practice since it spawns every 60 seconds. Other players aren't going to be flocking towards it like other power weapons, so you should be able to get it every spawn, and if you don't, you won't have to wait that long for it to respawn. But again, sometimes grenades are just an easier option in the middle of a firefight, so don't get too carried away and toss it just to die immediately. Trust me, that happened to me so many times when I was trying to record for this video, and I realized I was just not patient enough with my trip mine use. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time.